good information about our Tokyo 2020 qualification pathway and our success as an NOC. So without too much ado, I would like to invite our second Vice President, Beatrice Aikoro.
The All Africa Games that took place in Rabat and Casablanca. I know you are all aware about the results, but for purposes of reminding ourselves, in Rabat we came back with 10 medals. We had 2 silver from boxing and 8 bronze from weightlifting, athletics and boxing. And we were ranked number 28th on the medal table. Then we also participated in a NOC World Beach Games. That was the first edition, which took place in Qatar, Doha. We took a team of 3-on-3 basketball that represented us very well. And I think you all followed up, and you are the guys who are helping us with information to disseminate to the Ugandans. Now we are preparing for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. We, as UOC and the country, we are looking forward to increase our participation by at least 40%. From the Rio Games, we had 22 athletes. We are targeting 35 athletes to take to the Games. And of course, we have the tentative sports. Initially, we started with 15 sports and gave opportunities to most of them to try to qualify. And as we talk now, the number has been narrowed down to around 8 and 9 sports that are still in the contention for the Games. And these are athletics, boxing, swimming, rowing, weightlifting, rugby sevens, badminton, skating, and basketball 3-on-3. The qualification period started in 2018 for most sports, except athletics. That started in January 2019. That is for marathon and race walking, and also for other track events started on 1st July 2019. And the period will end for most sports. Qualification period will end for most sports on 26th of April 2020, and as I said, also except athletics, which ends on the 29th of June 2020. So by end of April, we'll know how many athletes, whether we'll have hit our target of 35 athletes, we'll be able to know. And of course, for your information, the qualification pathway based on the times for sports, individual sports like swimming and athletics, they have qualifying times. And also for ranking, for other sports, the tournament and like badminton, weightlifting, they also are based on the ranking. Then we also have quota allocation, which will give some sports in that category, and universality. In some sports, we have universality. If a country cannot qualify athletes through ranking or times, they have an opportunity to send athletes based on universality. As of now, we have athletes we can say are qualified. We have one rower who was qualified in the single scull. We have, for the first time, and this is the first time we are qualifying an athlete to Olympic Games in that sport of rowing. We have athletics. Potentially, we have 15 qualified athletes, as from the results of by Doha 2019. We have in that list 9 men and 6 women who are potentially qualified. But as you know, the top 8 in each event in the finals are 100% qualified for Tokyo. The rest of the athletes who are qualified as of now have to compete with the rest, those who didn't make it to Doha to qualify. So in the top 8, we have Joshua Cheptegei, Halima Nakai, Winnie Nanyondo, and Peruth Chemutai. These are the top 8 from Doha. These are 100% qualified. But the remaining are qualified as of now, but they still have to again compete. We shall be able to have the final list by 29th of June 2020. We have 2 swimmers. Swimming is one of our sports that will qualify athletes based on time. If they don't make it, they can have category B. If they can't make it, then we'll have universality. So we are sure we shall have 2 swimmers that will make the team to Tokyo 2020. Then we have athletes from sports who still have a chance, good chance, due to the current standings to qualify for Tokyo. We have 1 athlete in badminton who is ranked among the top 82. And for us to qualify, an athlete must be among the 82 in each of the event, either male or female. We have an athlete in the last, I think, 2 weeks has been ranked number 80th. So it's among the top 82. We hope that if the athlete continues to compete in the remaining events, can maintain that position, you'll be able to qualify. And it will also be the first time we're having a qualified athlete, especially the category between men and female, the category of female. Then weightlifting, we have 4 potential weightlifters who have the opportunity of the chance to qualify for Tokyo 2020. And for each event, you need a top 14 in each category. We have 7 categories according to the weights. So in the 7 categories, we have 4 athletes who have a chance to qualify. And should we fail to qualify all the 4, we shall look at the universality. Then we have this rugby sevens. Currently, we have rugby sevens competing at the continental qualifier for Tokyo, which is taking place in South Africa, Johannesburg. I think they are starting tomorrow. We're starting tomorrow. If we emerge to be the winner from that tournament in South Africa, we shall have qualified for Tokyo 2020. And if we happen to be, if we fail to qualify and happen to be among the top 2, the remaining number 2, number 3, we go for another round of qualification next year to get the top 2, and we still have a hope that Uganda Rugby Sevens will make it to Tokyo. We have 2 chances for skating athletes if they can compete. These will be areas of universality as long as you have an athlete who has participated in international competition. So if we have the 2 skaters compete between now and April next year, they'll have a chance to qualify. As of now, there are no Africans in some of the events we're talking about. So if Ugandan athletes go out there and they skate well, they have a chance to qualify. And then, of course, we have, while we have a female rower qualified in a single scull, we still have a chance for a single male athlete to qualify. And we pray that when we go for competition next year in January, the male athlete will be able to qualify for Tokyo. So for us to be able to help these athletes, we have opportunities that have been offered. We have what we call Olympic scholarships, which has 6 beneficiaries, 1 from swimming and 5 from athletics. And the 5 from athletics are Nakai Halima, Joshua Cheptegei, Chebet Esther, Jacob Kiplimo, and Albert Chemtai. And these are the 5 athletes amongst the beneficiaries of the scholarships. And you can see that some of them are already performing very well. And these grants are to help athletes qualify and also prepare. So out of the 5 from track and field, one can say 4 of them already qualified for Olympic Games. Then we have 1 swimmer, Sengozi Rebecca, who is based in US. So it's one of the athletes that we think will be able to represent us in Olympic Games next year. Then, of course, we have the team grand sport. The beneficiaries rugby sevens. And as I said earlier, they are currently in South Africa trying to qualify for Tokyo 2020. We also have Continental Athlete Support Grant, which we helped some federations to try to qualify athletes prior to the All Africa Games. Some participated since the performance were not able to take them forward. We still have others who are trying their best to qualify. And we have an ANOCA support grant, which is for focusing on athletes to win medals. That is the target from ANOCA. And we have 1 athlete selected from the Youth Olympic Games of last year. That is the Sarah Chelangat. Then, of course, we have, as we go to Tokyo, we have what we call pre-games training, which will take place here in Uganda, but also in Japan. We have 2 cities. We've signed memorandum of understanding with the 2 cities. One city is Tateshina in Nagano Prefecture, in Japan, which is slightly high altitude area, and we have one called Misano, which is in Osaka. It's at low level, sea level. So when we have our athletes qualified, we shall know which sport will take athletes into which pre-games training center. Of course, we have already qualifying, and we have already local organizing committee to prepare for Tokyo. And this local organizing committee is chaired by the Honorable Minister of State for Sports, Honorable Charles Bakabulindi, and it comprises of the Uganda Olympic Committee, National Council of Sports, and the Ministry of Education and Sports. This committee's role is to ensure that we prepare our team very well, to see how we can raise resources to train the athletes, and finally ensure that they participate in the games. Thank you very much, President.
And our scholarships are paying dividend. We have 2 world champions who are on our scholarship, and we have a scholarship program. I'd like to invite Elijah to tell us more on a very new frontier that we're undertaking, and that's the winter.
Brolin Maweje, for those that have been following him closely on social media, he has been active in pushing forward to see that he also represents his country in snowboarding. And as the Olympic Committee, we have applied for a grant to support him in his quest to qualify, and we are very hopeful and believe that with the program that has been designed for him with his entire team, we believe that he can make it for Beijing 2022 in the snowboarding category. Still in the line to make sure that we can have the athletes well prepared and having at least a chance to be using high performance centers in terms of the Winter Games. We have an MOU signed with CONI, the Italian Olympic Committee, and this MOU will also be providing sports facilities to some of the athletes like Brolin Maweje, so that they can enhance their training and preparation so that they can make it for Beijing 2022. Still also in the Winter Games category, we have been having a dream program running for the past 3-4 years. And this program has been a legacy foundation from the Pyeongchang 2018 Games in South Korea. And this dream program offers a chance to countries that do not have snow, but at least have the ambition to see their athletes participate in Winter Games. And for the previous 3 years, we've had athletes going to South Korea to participate in this dream program in sports like figure skating, speed skating. And still this time around, we've been offered the opportunity through the South Korean embassy. And next year, we'll be having a team of some young athletes going to South Korea to participate in this dream program, and we hope by 2022 we can have a minimum of at least one making the cut to participate in the Beijing 2022 Games through an invitation or universality. And some of these athletes will be coming from the Uganda Skating Federation, and of course we'll be having Hassan, Fatuma, Katongole, and the coach will be Afua. So hopefully with the commitment showed by the federation from the previous years, we hope that this time round we can have some of these athletes representing Uganda at the Winter Games. Thank you very much.
Item number 3, I'll ask our Secretary General, Dr. Donald Bukale, to give us an update on our secretariat matters.
Thank you, Mr. President. SCOM in September appointed a special task force of about 5 people to look into this issue of how the program is running, as well as some of the interns. There are some allegations that there was a bit of improper conduct, and also the program wasn't being run optimally. The task force undertook a rigorous investigation into the matters that were brought up. It has made its report to the EXCOM, which has adopted its recommendations. But the main thrust of the recommendations are that the program needs to be further streamlined. We need to put in place strengthened and more clear guidelines, codes of conduct, clear terms of reference, recruit more program directors so that we are able to run the program more optimally. So as the UOC, we took into account the various recommendations. There are quite many, but if I was to summarize the main travel direction of these recommendations, it's really about streamlining and making it optimally. We're able to run these programs optimally with a clear focus and build on the great success that these programs have so far undertaken. So that is what I could report, and if there are any questions, we shall be able to take them, Mr. President.
Thank you, Donald, for the update on one of the best programs in the world. We have trained more sports administrators than any NOC in the last quadrennial. And our program is one of the few that has 1 or 2 sports management courses running concurrently. And again, we were the first to run a sports management course in a refugee settlement, and we've conducted 2 courses there. So we've been doing some exceptional work, and we've entered into new frontiers under the IOC banner. So thank you, Donald, for the update on that. And I think you can take item number 4 as well. Dunstan, regarding
from the Uganda Golf Union, the Uganda Modern Pentathlon Federation, the Uganda Skating Association, and the Uganda Lacrosse Association. The applications were well received and were reviewed by the Executive Committee, and the following were granted provisional membership. The first went to the Uganda Judo Federation, the second went to the Uganda Golf Union, and the third went to the Uganda Skating Association. So moving forward, and we hope that all going well, in our next annual general meeting, we'll be able to perhaps finally grant full membership to these 3 federations. Thank you.
Thank you, Dunstan. Boxing Task Force. And the Boxing Task Force is meant to provide a qualification management program for athletes who want to represent the country in the next Olympic Games. We have been able to set up a committee which is chaired by Mr. Bosco Onik, who is the chairperson of the National Council of Sports. So he chairs the local boxing task force, which is comprised of amateur and professional boxing. So we have 2 federation presidents under the National Boxing Task Force, which will allow athletes to participate in the Olympic Games. Athletes who are professional, who have had less than 8 bouts, will be given an opportunity, which is subject to the other rules and regulations of the entry of athletes. Chocho, as we call her, but Immaculate Nalwada, is the secretary of the local boxing task force. And we've already met 3 times. The last meeting was a very successful meeting where we had more than 1,000 athletes and coaches who turned up. And they were in position for the very first time as athletes to be given an opportunity to be heard and to ask questions. So we broke a barrier of bringing athletes together with management to be able to ask questions. So that was a very good development in terms of boxing. Boxing is, as we're speaking, the entry and registration of athletes who want to participate in the qualifying process has opened up. It's also opened up to boxers who are out of the country. And those out of the country will have to participate in a program that we will announce in the next week that will be managed and overseen by the National Council of Sports. And the Uganda Boxing Federation will provide the technical officials, and it will be overseen, obviously, by its president, Mr. Mohanji. Moses. So that is it on boxing. We're on track, and the next qualification event will be in Dakar, and that will be in the second month of the year, and there will be a second opportunity which will be in Paris, and that will be the World Boxing Championships. I'd like to go to item number 5, which is the commission activities. If I can ask Isma just to come up here. You can stay seated, Elijah. Just Athletics for Development, A4D. It is in conjunction with DOSB, German Olympic Committee, as well as GIZ. And we're working with the Uganda Athletics Federation as well. And we're delivering social development programs using athletics as a platform. We've already held some workshop with our federations, and we're going to be moving up country to do a number of initiatives with 8 different organizations across the country. Some will be in refugee settlements, some will be in schools, some will be at district level, to be able to manage this project. So this is a very interesting project that we've undertaken. Special project number 2, Sport for Social Development Commission. We're partnering with UNHCR, Italian Embassy, and Sampdoria FC. We have an implementing partner called ACAV, and that's an Italian NGO that's in West Nile, and they are managing a number of refugee settlements in conjunction with the Office of the Prime Minister's Office. We are getting funding from the Olympic Refuge Foundation, and Uganda is one of 3 countries that will be running a 3-year special project starting in 2020, which is valued at more than $1 million, where we will be running activities in refugee settlements in Uganda with a number of different partners. And part of the MOU that we've signed with CONI, we'll be working with national federations in Italy, like the Swimming Federation, the Athletics Federation, the Boxing Federation, to be able to give us technical assistance, equipment that will be able to, 1, work within our federations, and 2, into the refugee settlements. The other partnerships that we've had, Tuzokuba University, they have held a session here in Uganda for conditioning, and they will be doing more activities with us leading up to Tokyo 2020. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Uganda Olympic Committee and the Uganda Commonwealth Games Association of Uganda, we would like to thank you for attending our press brief of activities that we've undertaken in the country, of course leading up to the Olympic Games and promotion of Olympic values, and managing the affairs of the NOC and CGA Uganda. So thank you very much for attending. If there are any questions, please feel free, and we'll do.
Categories. For modern pentathlon, they had already been granted provisional membership before, so that is how it is. I hope that is clear. So 5B Olympic economic sports. So lacrosse is in that category. Modern pentathlon was already admitted in the last.
So how many members in total?
Netball and squash, they become 29. Squash and netball are only Commonwealth Games. So currently on our register we have 29.
I'll be happy to have individual interviews because I've got lost so many times. I must admit. The international plans, I don't know how they come up with activities that qualify the athletics, but when you come to the local calendar, it's very hard to find certain activities. Whether we don't know, we don't report about.
This year, as you know, weightlifting hosted the Africa Junior Weightlifting Championships, which were held at Royal Active. And if you look at, for example, weightlifting, it's one of our medal winners at continental level. Yes, recently at the Africa Games. So they do have activities. I have
1:30 and 10 athletics about 150 million. This is an open registration. You have a limit because you may have 2,000 boxers here and
be able to inform the general public in the next week or so. We will have another meeting like we did with all the boxers, and they will take us through the criteria that will be chosen, and there is a quota that is open for participation in the qualifiers. So all that will be given, and I'm not too worried. Talent identification, which means we're able to identify athletes, put them on a scholarship program, and they're now qualifying and producing the results at an international level. If you look at the list that we've given you, we have Halima and we have Cheptegei. So in terms of our technical ability to identify athletes and put them on the program, I think we have improved. And we, in the next couple of years, if you look at all the athletes and all the events, the sports that are here, that's where we're going to have success at the Olympic Games, which will mean that we have a deliberate policy to identify these athletes. We know what we're doing, and we're zeroing down on particular athletes and saying, this is where we're going to get our medals from. We can't do all the sports that exist, but with the limited finances that we have, as you all see, I think you can give us credit for the list of athletes that are here on the scholarship grant. And we have already qualified, I think, 70% of those on scholarship, and 2 have become world champions. So we are focusing greatly with the limited finances that we have on a group that we believe will be able to produce the results. So for me, I'm very proud of what we have, what we're presenting here going into Tokyo 2020.
Maybe some clarification because something doesn't get home.
And they nominate athletes to the scholarship of the IOC. So we ask the federations to nominate athletes. We have a technical department that sits down, takes into consideration world ranking, performance, etc. And you can appreciate what we have here is already a very good example that the team is very focused on producing the results.
And maybe just, if so that it can just give you further clarification. I think your question, I can ask you the question, you should probably be asking, what is the nature of a training center that has been identified by the IOC? There are some accredited training centers. So for example, if it's tennis, there's one in Burundi. If it's swimming, there's one in Senegal. If it's athletics, I think you have some in Egypt, South Africa. They're accredited centers where an athlete can go and reside and prepare for the games. So they build in their timetable. If they need to go to World Championships, they'll go from that center and go and then come back. Others, I think for ours, for most of the 6, you can get the option of get a contribution of about $1,000 per month, which they give you. Each of these athletes get $1,000, and then it helps them, and then they have $5,000 to help them go to attend a particular qualification event. So this money they get every month is supposed to help them for training, coaching, and all those things. So they get it directly. So it has to build in, their money they have to build into the archives. Yes, they have other commitments, but this contribution builds into their overall structure. So that's how it ties in. So you have to choose an option, training center, or you receive a monthly contribution, which contributes to their overall, like that. They have that 5,000. If they want to, for example, go to a particular event, they can draw on that 5,000 to contribute. So it's not going to cover everything, but it's a contribution to their training agenda. So through Athletics Federation, they submitted a plan. We looked at it, and then, as William said, and Beatrice, we select them. Because before, if you look at the previous scholarships, there wasn't a very clear, you just probably choose people on random, say pick up Kadu, but here we're trying to say justify. So I've asked all the federations, give us your pathway. We asked them 2 years ago, if you're saying we're going to support Kadu, where is his rank in Uganda? What number are you in Uganda? What number are you in Africa? What number are you at the international level? Then you can predict. Baseball, I think, is about number 4 in Africa. 8. The ladies are 4. So the likelihood that they'll qualify for the Olympics is 0. Because statistically, they only take the best team. Yeah?
It was actually when you win the African Cup,
Yeah.
you have to go and participate
So rugby had a higher chance because they were #1 in Africa. So that's the kind of permutation that the technical team looks. Because if you're #8 in Africa, there's no chance you're going to qualify between now and June. But someone who is #2 or #1 has a higher chance of, especially for those team sports. So that's how it works out.
Maybe you need to be.
I think you've answered the question in your question. If you qualify for the Olympic Games, you go automatically. That is a given. You cannot qualify for the Olympic Games and not go for the Olympic Games. So the moment you qualify, 100% you're guaranteed, you will go. The issue of qualification, continental, the National Council of Sports provided a budget, and based on a budget and events or sports that we believed with the government that Uganda could perform and possibly qualify, opportunities were given to those athletes who fell in that particular bracket. There are certain sports like boxing who thought they could take the whole world. It wasn't possible. One, boxing wasn't a qualifier anyway, and two, finances are limited. So when we talk of qualification events, it's based on availability of funds. If it's qualified, it's 100% guaranteed. We're sitting with government. There is a budget, an increased budget that's made available, and we're trying to assist all athletes that can qualify to qualify. So we're not going to leave anyone who we think can qualify. We're making that a priority. Yeah? Okay, can I wrap it up and perhaps request for one-on-one interviews if you would like them? No, it's not outside. It is within 100%, and it should have been one of the main briefs. I think every time a Ugandan goes to an international level, it's an advantage to the country.
Yeah.
It also shows the confidence our board has with international organizations. So maybe let me just congratulate Beatrice officially for having been elected as an IAAF council member. Beatrice, we're very proud of you, and congratulations. And then she can tell us the impact of her election to that.
Said what I wanted to say, but I can also state that it's always a privilege for a member from your country to be on the world sports board. For the IAAF, which is now the World Athletics, it's a very competitive. When I say competitive, we have 214 members, and everyone would like to be there. But to select elect somebody from Uganda shows the level of development of the sport in your country, because people have to appreciate. Before they elect you, they need to know what have you done as a country and as an individual. And of course, being in the decision-making body, it always has advantages to the country. You get to look back at your country and see whether the decisions you make are actually positive for your country. You are part of that decision-making body, and you're able to have an inside information before others and be able to improve. So it puts in a lot of pressure on you as an individual, because when you're a board member, you have to make sure your country doesn't stay down. You have to remain afloat, and I hope my being in the IAAF, in the World Athletics Council, will ensure that athletics in the country continues to grow upwards, not downwards. So really it's a privilege, and I want to thank people who have been there, including some of you, the media, because some of the information people pick are from the newspaper. Yes, people get to know you from the information that has been shared all around. So I'm really very grateful for that support. And I believe that athletics will not go downwards. Athletics will always be up. And I think some of you have seen how athletics has developed over the years, from athletes going to international competition on universality with a handful. Now we can talk about full house. And that is our target. And these, the hosting of the IAAF World Cross Country in 2017 show to the world the capability of our country to host international competition. I think it was the third in Africa. And these are some of the things that make people appreciate the role we play. And for some of us as individuals who were involved in some of these major events, it's a privilege. Thank you.
Maybe just scholarships zetwafuna mu Anoka abakulira Africa. Stella Chelengat yafuna gold medal mu Youth Olympic Games naye ali ku scholarship grant okuva mu Anoka. Uganda nga bwe tuli kati twaka qualifyinga omuwala mu rowing era gwe gusoose Uganda qualifyinga omuzanyi w'emizannyo egya rowing. Mu athletics tulina abawala 6 abalenzi 9 abaka qualifyinga for the Olympic Games. Mu swimming tulinayo 2. Mu badminton tusuubira nti nno omu ajja kusobola okuqualifyinga. Mu weightlifting tulinayo 4 be tulinamu essuubi. Mu rugby emizannyo giri South Africa ku weekend eno egya rugby sevens tusuubira nti tiimu yaffe enaasobola okuqualifyinga. Bwe taqualifyinge mu Africa tusuubira bajja kubeera mu position ey'okubiri oba ey'okusatu. Abeera namba 2 ne namba 3 babatwala mu tournament endala gye bayita repechage. Abalala abavudde mu continent endala abatasobodde okuziwangula bajja okuddamu okufunayo qualification event emu endala. Tusuubira 2 okuva mu skating era kigenda okubeera omulundi ogusoose okutwala abazanyi 2 okuva mu skating. Mu rowing era tusuubirayo omulenzi omulala bwana qualifyinga tujja kuba tufunye 2 abaqualifyinze. Nga team Uganda twasayininga MOU oba endagaano ne Japan Olympic Committee. Kati with Japan Olympic Committee waliwo town 2 mu Japan, Tateshina ne Izumisano. Bagenda kutuwa facilities etunakozesa nga team Uganda bwe tunaba tugenda for the Olympic Games nga wabulayo omwezi. Team Uganda ejja kusobola okugenda mu town ezi 2, emu ya high altitude ya waggulu endala eri wansi. Aba athletes baffe bajja kusobola okukozesa facilities mu Japan. Honorable Minister of State for Sports, Honorable Charles Bakabulindi, ya launching a local organizing committee. Era tubadde tufuna meetings ne government okwetegeka for the Olympic Games. Olympic Games zaffe entegeka tugenda kuyingira mu Winter Olympic Games mu 2022 22 tusuubira games ezinabeera mu Beijing mu China. Tujja kusobola okuqualifyinga Brolin Maweje ali mu US era naye tugenda mufunira athlete scholarship grant okuva mu IOC okulaba nti nasobola okukiikirira Uganda mu Olympic Games. Tulina endagaano ne South Korea Olympic Committee. Waliyo program gye bayita Dream Program. Twakaweerezaayo abantu 4 era bali mu South Korea. Bali mu South Korean Pyeongchang 2018 Legacy Foundation Program era nabo tusuubira nti omwaka guno bajja kusobola okuqualifyinga for skating era skating namwogeddeko. Ndi musanyufu nnyo okutegeeza eggwanga nti nga Uganda Olympic Committee guno gwe gusoose ffe nga Uganda Olympic Committee okulondamu abazannyi abanasobola okukiikirira eggwanga ne tubateeka ku program nga tuba facilitatinga era nga bwe mwalaba Joshua Cheptegei yawangula World Championship era nga bwe mwalaba Halima naye yawangula World Championship medal. Bano be bali ku scholarship zaffe era tulinayo abalala betusuubira bajja kukiikirira Uganda basobole okuwangula medaali mu Olympic Games ezigenda okubeera e Tokyo mu 2020. Nga Uganda Olympic Committee era buli Olympic Games tusuubira nti nno twagala okwongerako abazannyi oba abaddusi abanakiikirira eggwanga era tusuubira nti nno abazanyi oba abaddusi 35 betunasobola okutwala e Tokyo. Omwaka Olympic Games ezasembayo bali 26. Buli qualifying for the Olympic Games bajagenda mu Olympic Games, so ekyo tekirina kobuzibu kyonna. Esente eziriwo government zeteeka mu qualifying events, twasalawo okutula ne government ne tulaba sports ki zetulowooza tezisobola okuqualifyinga, era ne tusalawo nti nno abazannyi abasinga tugenda bateekamu athletics. Athletics yezisinga okuqualifyinga abaddusi mu mizannyo gyo Olympics. Ne tusalawo nti nno tujja kutunuulira boxing, tutunuulire weightlifting, tutunuulire badminton, tutunuulire basketball, bwe tutyo naye nga essuubi liri mu athletics ne boxing. Qualifiers za boxing zigenda kubeera mu Dakar mu Senegal omwaka ogujja mu mwezi ogwokubiri 2020. Thank you.